PHLY Phillies Draft Prospect Preview time. We've been talking a lot about some of the players the Phillies could select 27th overall in this Sunday's MLB Draft. We've been talking a lot about pitchers so far, and I warned you were going to hear a lot about these scouting grades. You know why that is? Because I'm not watching high school baseball games in Elk City, Oklahoma, and Illinois, and Baton Rouge, but these scouts are. So the professionals that grade these guys, I'm going to use their scales and metrics, which are very similar to what MLB teams use. Next up is a college player, Ryan Waldschmidt, 21 years old, out of the University of Kentucky. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. He's projected to be a center fielder more than a corner outfielder because his arm isn't great. But he covers a lot of ground, and he's got a good glove. Here's how his scout grades come in before we tell you a little bit more about Ryan Waldschmidt. His hitting scout grade comes in at 55, power also 55, run also 55. His arm is a 40, which is below average like we talked about. His fielding is 45. Overall, he comes in with a 50 grade. Now, Waldschmidt had a fantastic season for the Kentucky Wildcats, and one of the reasons why Kentucky had their deepest postseason run in history. On the year, he hit .333 with 14 home runs and 46 RBIs and posted an OPS of 1.079. His draft projection varies kind of drastically. He's been as high as 14th in some drafts, as low as 26, 27 in others. So if he falls to the Phillies, they might be considered technically lucky because most of his projections have him going slightly ahead of the Phils. But let's hope for the best here. Waldschmidt was lightly recruited out of Florida because he had a devastating home plate collision as a freshman catcher, could only DH his sophomore year, and then, struggled a little bit coming out junior year. So he wasn't this highly touted recruit. He did then go to play his first college season at the College of Charleston, where he eventually transferred to Kentucky. Suffered another injury up in the Cape Cod League when he stepped on a hole making a throw in the outfield. Come on, Cape Cod League. Patch up those holes, would you? And blew out his ACL. But since getting fully healthy, he has kind of wowed scouts a little bit with his tools and performance. Entering the NCAA tournament, he had a slash line of .357, .487, and .654. And he dazzled analysts and scouts with his metrics, pushing his way into first-round consideration. Few players in this draft, according to scouts, can match Waldschmidt's ability to make contact, avoid chasing pitches, and produce high exit velocities. So he's got excellent plate discipline. He has a very patient approach, and scouts really love how quick his right-handed bat is through the zone. He uses the entire field well, but he does have an affection for driving balls to his pull side. As Waldschmidt has gotten healthier over the years here, his run times have improved from a fringy earlier in the season to solid visions of plus speed. The only real knock on him is he is a subpar, left fielder for Kentucky who looks a little tentative at times, though some evaluators wonder if his quickness should merit a look in center field, where, you don't need the biggest arm in the world. So it's going to be interesting to see where Ryan Waldschmidt goes on Sunday. Do the Phillies have interest in a possible center fielder? Yeah, they might, especially if somebody like Justin Crawford got moved at the MLB trade deadline. So we'll see what happens, but Ryan Waldschmidt, center fielder from Kentucky, would probably be a very good fit here for the Phillies at number 27.
We all silly like the mayor.